Okay. Uh, Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name's Lee Honish. I am joined by Andrew Labouche and Miguel Antonio Barragan. How are you, Andrew?
Yeah, very good, Lee.
Excellent. How are you, Miguel?
I'm good, man. Just shaking out the sleep, Sunday morning. That's what I do.
I'm sure you woke up 5 minutes ago. It's the way it
Yes.
always is.
That's just the way it is, yes.
It's just the way it is. A backup plan. Crawford, I really don't think it'll damage my legacy if Spence doesn't happen. Boxing Scene is reporting, of course, Keith Idec backing up his boy Errol. I'm sure it's got some kind of opinion about him not fighting and not making this happen. Terrence Crawford was interviewed as saying, well, I think it's a great fight for both of our legacies and boxing as a whole. But at the same time, I think, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, kids. But at the same time, I think, a lot of people is reaching. Is it wrong to correct a boxer if that's what they actually said? Like, if you're retyping this as a blog, I mean, do you have to go word for word? Can you clean them up a little bit?
Yeah,
A lot of people is reaching when they say it's going to damage my legacy. Actually, bro, it is. It is. I'm a 3-weight world champion. I'm a former undisputed world champion. I have accomplished a lot in boxing. There's a lot of this is almost like neuro-linguistic programming. If I say enough times, you'll believe it. So I really think it'll damage my legacy. It's just going to go down as one of the biggest fights that never happened. Well, Andrew, that it's not going to hurt his legacy?
Yeah, I listened to that interview. He goes on to talk about going multiple divisions, winning, being undisputed in one of them. I think he's talking more about the Hall of Fame, Lee, about being remembered in the boxing world. And for that, he's not wrong. The guy was pound for pound #1. What's going to hurt him is his welterweight run. He will never be considered a great welterweight because this fight didn't come off, or the Manny Pacquiao fight. He was supposed to fight Manny too when he was with Top Rank, and that never got delivered. So most likely it's going to be his welterweight time in his career that will not be remembered as of anything but that him and Spence and Pacquiao never fought.
Miguel, I'm getting that Otto Wallen vibe with Crawford.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a stretch. We're talking about Wallen here, but yeah,
I realize this is a
vibe,
real world champion, but he's starting to fall into obscurity here.
It's delusional obscurity, damn near, because it's like again, to some degree, he's got a point, right? Because he did what he did in the other weight classes. It's just that when the spotlight is the brightest, when he's at welterweight and he's got the potential to make some serious, Hall of Fame type of hey, put me on the ballot kind of deal, when he starts facing the guys at welterweight, or I guess the only other guy I should say, in this case Spence, right? But it's going to affect his legacy. It might not damage it to the point where it's going to erase what he's done before, but it's always going to be that damn blemish. It's always going to be that stain. It's pretty much what could have been was Floyd and Manny until they ultimately fought. But I don't want to see that happen with this, and these guys end up fighting 7-8 years or whatever later than it should have been, or whatever the hell, because these guys, keep in mind, they're already in their 30s, right? So there's not that much time
becoming the
left.
running joke on social media, right? Like, everybody's starting to do that posted meme of them as little old there it is.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, does it really have to, man, this is getting repetitive, and it's getting boring. Like, we need to actually make this thing happen. And we can blame it on one or the other, but the bottom line is we're not actually getting it done. And I'm not entirely sure, because I think it's even, was it Max Kellerman was going as far as to call Spence a duck at this point, because I've heard him actually fucking say it. So yeah, it's damn it, man. It's not going to damage his I guess overall legacy, but it is going to be the biggest fucking blemish, and I hate that. It's going to be one of those biggest what ifs. I would have liked to have seen Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe go at it in the pros. It's like, damn it, why the fuck didn't this fight happen? So it's going to be one of those fights if it doesn't happen.
There you go. Moving